Hello everyone and welcome back to Kobean History. Today we will be talking about the final part of the Stone Age, the Neolithic, which started around 4000 BC when farming became widespread in Britain. By this time the land bridge known as Doggerland that connected Britain to the continent had already flooded. Because of this, Britain became more isolated and was one of the last regions of Europe to adopt this new sedentary lifestyle and dependence on agriculture as a food source. This transition happened gradually, and we have found evidence of hunter-gatherers and agricultural societies coexisting and trading with each other. By this time, a language had already developed which belonged to the Celtic branch of the Indo-European family. But what this language was actually like is unknown to us. The change to agriculture was needed because the hunter-gatherer lifestyle wasn't able to sustain the growing population any longer. In the Mesolithic and Paleolithic, the stone tools that were used, such as daggers, spears and arrowheads, were mostly made with smaller stones, but in the Neolithic we also see the use of bigger stone tools such as axes. This radical change is known as the Neolithic Revolution. At this time, Britain was still covered in large forests, so to make room for farmland, these early agricultural communities undertook mass deforestation throughout Britain. They didn't just cut down trees with axes that would have taken too long. Instead, they developed new, more efficient methods for deforestation, such as setting forest fires and ring barking. This is a sort of debarking where they remove a strip of tree bark around the trunk, which causes the tree to eventually die. It is also possible that the elm bark beetle was introduced to Britain. This is a parasite that carries Dutch elm disease, which killed a large number of elm trees. However, it is not known if this bug was intentionally spread by farmers or if it was accidental, but it certainly helped the farmers with deforestation. The deforestation dramatically transformed the landscape of Britain, and the actions of these early farmers are still visible in the British landscape to this day. The Neolithic Britons grew mostly cereal grains like wheat and barley, which played a big part in their diet as well. At specific parts of the year, this was also supplemented by the gathering of wild, undomesticated foods, such as hazelnuts when they were in season, and evidence was also found in Wessex that they ate grapes. It is unknown if these grapes were imported from the mainland or if they were grown locally, as the climate back then was warmer than that of the early 21st century, so growing them would have been a possibility. Between 3500 and 3300 BC, agricultural communities began to center themselves in the most productive areas, where the soil was more fertile, which included areas around Orkney, eastern Scotland, Anglesey, the Upper Thames, Wessex, Essex, Yorkshire and the river valleys of the Wash. In these areas we find an intensification of agricultural production and larger settlements. Meanwhile, in other less fertile regions, we find evidence of mass tree growth during the same period, as the previously deforested areas became woodland once again, indicating that humans abandoned these areas in search of land that was better for agriculture. No standing Neolithic houses are around today, but the foundations of these buildings can still be found, although they are rare. The remnants of these buildings are usually only uncovered when they are in the vicinity of Neolithic stone monuments. In the early and middle Neolithic, these stone monuments that they built were commonly large tombs that housed the bodies of the dead. In southern England, 84 of these tombs were built in a northeast and southeast orientation, which must have had some special significance to the people that built them. It is thought that these people believed in the continued existence of their dead, and that the dead could influence the well-being of the living. Similar tombs are found throughout Western Europe, from Iberia to Scandinavia. In the later Neolithic, the construction of these tombs turned into the construction of stone circles like Stonehenge, the use of which we still don't fully understand. The development of these new stone structures are thought to be related to rituals, social hierarchy, or new ideas about religion. There was no single body of beliefs that we can call the Neolithic religion. Instead, the beliefs and practices of the people varied from place to place, which we can see in the difference between Neolithic monuments. Neolithic Britons were also capable of building a variety of different wooden structures. For instance, a wooden trackway was built in the then marshland of the Somerset Levels, and this trackway had a length of over a kilometer. Next time we will go more in depth about stone circles. Thanks for watching, and on screen now you can find a playlist of this series. Or if you're interested in history as a whole, you can check out my channel to get a wider variety of historical topics.